guys, so I'm about to drive, but I wanted to do a quick video because I missed it last week, and you gotta be consistent, especially when you're trying to start something new, and this goes with everything in life. It's all about consistency. But this is not the topic of this video. Topic of this video are goals. So along the lines of New Year's and whatnot, let's talk about goals, right? And this comes to mind because I am meeting with my financial planner, as I said in previous things, to kind of lay out responsibly how I can leave my full-time job in order to do my business full-time. Leave my full-time job for another full-time job, but my own business. And as we were going through this, at first it's like a very conservative schedule. For the first 3 years, essentially, she has me making a third, not even a third, of what I currently make now. Like, barely anything. And at first, I saw this and I was like, okay, one, it's very doable, which is nice. And it's not scary. It's like, okay, this can happen. And it's not this, like, big thing out of the gate. Like, I have to make 100K the first year, and that's it, or that's my only thing, which could be very stressful. And instead, it's kind of the opposite way. It's like almost worst case scenario in a sense. And she gave me 3 years to build up the business, right? And then I was talking to my career coach about this, and at first I was like, yeah, this is great. It's good to have. And she's like, wait, but does she know anything about, we already have profit, essentially, within TDU. And she's like, does she know anything about that? And I was like, no, I didn't really put that into the plan or the scenario. I wanted to be really conservative and not stress myself out and say I had to hit this goal. So I didn't have that at all. And she had me 3 years to basically build up the business to that, 100K mark or whatnot. And then my career coach was kind of like, no, she needs to know that. And my argument with my financial planner was like, those are not real numbers. I am not going to go ahead and do a projection over like assumptions or goals or whatnot. She only works with real numbers. At first I was like, I get it. Actually, I do get it. You want to be conservative. You don't want to give someone these like lofty dreams and expectations that that's what they're going to make. But then I thought of this kind of analogy scenario where, if you give someone 3 weeks to write a paper, how long does it take that person to write the paper? 3 weeks. But if you take that same person and say, you have 3 days to write this same paper, how long do you think it takes them? Probably 3 days, right? And that's kind of the whole thing. I know that's very simplifying, but that's the whole point. It's like, I see this plan now, and I'm still keeping it. It's not like I'm ditching it at all. I just want an alternative scenario as well. So I have this very conservative plan that gives me 3 years to build up to 100K. Well, I'm asking now for a different scenario. Can you show me a similar scenario, but that 3 years is sped up? So within a year, within the next year, I make that 100K, and I know it might not happen, but I'll see it on paper and it will motivate me to do it. And it's visioning, it's mental, right? Because half the game is mental. So I can envision making that next year instead of me seeing this on paper and saying 3 years from now I'll make, that 100K. So what's gonna happen? I'm gonna sit and like relax for 3 years. I'm like, on the paper it says I don't really have to do this for another 3 years, so I'm not going to really hustle that much to do it. And then what's going to happen probably like the year before that third year, I'm like, oh crap, I got to get my act together now. So I'm just trying to mentally get myself there now. And it's a game, right? It's like a mental game with yourself, but it's deadlines. That's why deadlines are so important. I know some people just hate deadlines, especially if you say you're like creative and artists, hate these deadlines with the producers, but I am a key advocate of deadlines because without deadlines, nothing happens. Nothing. I'm on this sequence now where it's like a never-ending sequence because there's no deadline. And then people, not only that, it's like people think that they don't want deadlines, but what happens when they don't have it is they get frustrated because they feel like nothing's being accomplished. And we're human, right? We want that feeling of accomplishment. So, to end, I think, pushing yourself, that little extra edge, and one, have that conservative scenario where it will take me 3 years to make that amount of money, but also mentally have that other one and put that one in the forefront, because it's kind of like that idea where you shoot for the moon, and if you shoot for the moon but land in the stars, you're still in the stars, right? But if you shoot for the stars and then you just never leave Earth, kind of a thing. So like, the further you shoot, the further you're going to push yourself. So don't limit yourself. Be conservative in life, but when you're going after your dreams and whatnot, just shoot for the moon. And worst case scenario, end up in the stars, right? So that's my thing to you, financial planner. If you're listening, please give me that other scenario so I can mentally push myself and see this happening sooner. And I know myself. I know other people are different. Maybe they work better, but I know myself. If I see that I can do this within a year, I'll get it done within a year. If you give me 3 years to do it, I will take 3 years to do it, because it's like kind of like, yeah, I got 3 years, right? Not gonna do anything for the first two, and I'm gonna hustle for the last one. But we're all different personalities. So what kind of personality are you? And I encourage you to set goals, push yourself mentally, and whatever thing that you wanted to do, push yourself a little further, shorten the deadlines a little, and you never know, you might surprise yourself. I think. And I'm gonna surprise me too, right? Let's do this. Talk to you guys soon.